Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're cracking open the sources on a car that's making a lot of noise, ironically enough, the 2026 Tesla Model 3. Our mission is to really dissect what our research is calling the silent revolution.
Yeah, it's a really interesting balancing act they're attempting. Tesla's trying to keep that image, radical tech, crazy performance.
Right.
But at the same time, they're pushing hard on cost cutting. And, well, they're still dealing with those ongoing critiques about quality, aren't they?
Exactly. That's the paradox, the core thing we need to figure out. Is this new Model 3 basically a stripped-down commuter car aimed at the budget end?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it still that cutting-edge performance sedan, just, cheaper? We're diving into the reviews, the specs, trying to pull out the real story for you. And hey, before we get into this whole strategic pivot, just a quick moment, if you find these deep dives useful, if you like us digging into the tech and the strategy.
Yeah, it definitely helps us out.
Please take a second now, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, maybe ring the notification bell. It just makes sure you don't miss our future analyses.
And all the links, the full review, our Cars Press WhatsApp channel, it's all down there in the description for you.
Okay, sorted. So let's start with the money, the pricing, because that really shapes everything else, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. For 2026, the big focus seems to be cost and efficiency leadership. They've priced the new Model 3 standard, the rear-wheel drive one, really aggressively.
How aggressive are we talking?
Well, the target seems to be somewhere between, say, $36,990 and $38,630. That's a really, really strong play in the current EV market.
Okay, but to hit a price like that, something's got to give, right? You can't have everything.
Exactly. And the sources are pretty clear on where the trade-offs are. It's mostly in the comfort features, the nice-to-have.
So this is the strategy, then. Keep the base model price low by trimming the extras.
Precisely. Things like ventilated front seats or that screen for the rear passengers. You only find those in the higher trims now. The base RWD doesn't get them.
Which kind of tells you where their priorities are, doesn't it? It suggests they're putting the money into the core stuff, battery, motor, the tech.
The expensive bits, yeah.
And less on the cabin luxuries for the entry-level car.
Exactly. They're betting that the buyer who's really focused on value on the price tag probably cares more about range than, say, cooled seats.
Right.
And the range figures are pretty impressive across the lineup. They've definitely pushed efficiency.
Okay, let's talk about those range numbers. That's the other side of this efficiency push, and it gets pretty technical here.
The gains look significant. For the base standard RWD, the U.S. EPA estimate is looking like up to 321 miles. That's about 517 kilometers.
Which is solid.
It is. But the long-range all-wheel drive, that's really the star player for efficiency. It's expected to go beyond 340 miles EPA.
And I saw notes about the WLTP ratings, which are often higher.
That's a key point for listeners outside the U.S., yeah. The WLTP cycle is different, generally gives higher numbers. And for that long-range model, the WLTP estimate is pushing up towards, well, an incredible 678 kilometers.
Wow.
Yeah, so even accounting for the difference between EPA and WLTP, it shows Tesla has seriously improved the aero, the battery efficiency. So this is working much better.
And that directly tackles range anxiety, right? Helps keep that long-range model competitive.
Hugely important, yeah. But what about charging? Still fast?
Seems so. The long range and the performance models, they still have that top-end capability, maxing out at 250 kilowatts on a supercharger, which is rapid.
Okay.
The standard RWD is a bit slower, around 170 kilowatt max. But the key thing is how much range you add quickly. Sources say you can potentially add up to 282 kilometers in just 15 minutes.
That's still very usable, especially with the supercharger network's reliability.
And looking at the competition, you mentioned the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the Polestar 2. They're also pushing value hard.
They are. So Tesla's angle seems to be less about packing in features and more about leveraging that supercharger access combined with these improved range and efficiency numbers.
It's a different kind of value proposition.
Definitely. Competitors might give you more buttons, maybe a fancier feeling interior for the money, but Tesla's offering the charging network and that baseline performance. It's a calculated gamble to win that entry-level fight by focusing on range and charging, not just cabin gadgets.
Okay, let's move inside the car then. The philosophy is still this simple luxury, but, well, there's that massive screen dominating everything. Before we get to that debate, what about the supposed improvements inside?
Right, so for 2026, they definitely seem to have tried to address some of the past criticisms about comfort and noise.
Okay.
There's a big focus on sound insulation. They're using 360-degree acoustic glass now. Plus, reports mention softer materials, things that feel a bit more premium, and that customizable ambient lighting, trying to lift the feel of the cabin.
But hang on. Our sources, pretty consistently, still flag those traditional build quality issues. Panel gaps, the way things fit together, especially compared to, say, German rivals. How does simple luxury square with reports of, well, iffy fit and finish?
That's the perennial Tesla friction point, isn't it?
Yeah.
The materials might feel better than the old Model 3, sure. But the actual assembly, the consistency, the panel gaps, that still seems to be where they lag behind.
So the focus isn't quite on that traditional craftsmanship.
It seems less so than on the digital side, the engineering. It's like the structure is solid, the tech is advanced, but the final fit and finish might not satisfy someone coming from maybe a BMW i4.
Right.
It's part of the package you accept, I suppose.
Okay. On a more practical note, storage space, that's usually a Tesla strong suit.
Oh, absolutely. Still excellent there.
Mm.
The Model 3 is super practical. You get that big rear trunk, 594 liters, plus the underfloor a bit.
Yep.
And then there's the front trunk, another 88 liters.
Right, the frunk.
Yeah. Combined, it's a huge amount of space for a car this size. Rivals really struggle to match that.
Okay, now, the elephant in the minimalist room. That 15.4-inch screen. It does everything. Driving info, climate, music, wipers, mirrors, everything. Is it futuristic genius or just a usability nightmare?
It definitely pushes the limits. Maybe
Right.
too far for some. Having all those controls, especially critical ones like wipers or even putting the car in gear, all routed through that single touchscreen, it puts a huge amount of cognitive load on the driver.
And this connects directly to that big safety criticism, right?
Yeah.
No instrument cluster behind the steering wheel, no head-up display, no HUD.
That's the one reviewers consistently hammer. To check your speed, you have to glance away from the road towards the center, even for a split second.
Which feels counterintuitive for driving.
It's a deliberate design choice, pure minimalism. But yeah, the argument is that it compromises safety and reaction time compared to having your speed right there in your line of sight.
Yet, despite these maybe functional issues, they're still pushing the tech forward. What is this about the Grok AI assistant coming?
Yes, Grok. Highly anticipated. Sources suggest it is planned for the 2026 models. But there are a couple of catches.
Always catches.
Right. First, the car needs the right hardware, specifically the AMD processor. So maybe not all trims will get it or be capable of running it smoothly.
Okay.
And second, you'll likely need to subscribe to Tesla's premium connectivity package to actually use it.
So that's interesting. Buying the cheaper standard RWD might mean you miss out not just on physical bits like ventilated seats, but potentially on future core software features too, if you don't have the right chip.
It looks that way. It sort of reinforces that separation between the base model and the higher trims. Saving money up front might cost you access to future tech down the line.
Gotcha. And there's that rear screen now too for passengers?
Yes, in the premium trims, there's an 8-inch screen in the back. Mostly for climate control and maybe some entertainment. Definitely improves things for people in the rear seats.
Okay, let's switch gears completely. Performance, speed. This is the other half of the Model 3's identity. What are the numbers looking like for 2026?
Frankly, they're staggering, especially the performance AWD model. We're talking estimates between 460 and potentially over 510 horsepower.
Which translates to
0 to 100 kilometers per hour in somewhere between 2.9 and 3.3 seconds. That is genuine supercar acceleration.
just absolutely wild. And even the long-range version isn't exactly slow, is it?
Not at all. It's still a proper sports sedan.
Yeah.
The long-range AWD is rated around 390 to 441 horsepower. It hits 100 kilometers in about 4.4 seconds.
So performance isn't really an optional extra here. It's just baked in.
Pretty much, yeah. It's core to what the Model 3 is.
But how does all that instant electric punch feel on the road? Is it balanced? Or does that speed mean you sacrifice everyday comfort?
Well, the fundamental engineering is good.
Yeah.
Battery under the floor means a low center of gravity. So handling is sharp, stability is excellent. That's why people like driving them.
Right.
But there's a trade-off, definitely. The suspension, especially on that performance trim, it's tuned very firmly, almost for track use.
So bumpy roads aren't its friend.
Reviewers often say it can be quite stiff, yeah. You feel the bumps more. It's less about cushioned cruising and more about sharp, direct handling. A clear choice they've made.
Okay. And safety, we should touch on that. Consistently strong scores there, right?
Structurally, yes, very strong. The Model 3 routinely gets top marks 5 stars from Euro, ANSI, API, IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus in the States. Your core safety systems are all there. Autopilot.
Which still needs supervision.
Absolutely. Always active driver supervision needed. Plus automatic emergency braking, Sentry mode for security, all that standard stuff.
So If the Model 3 is all about this tech performance blend over traditional luxury, how's it really stacking up against the main competition now?
Well, the competition's getting tougher, and they each have their own strengths, their own identities now. You've got the BMW i4, which really leans into luxury, refinement, and crucially, a more traditional dashboard layout.
Right, physical buttons and all that.
Exactly. Then there's the Hyundai Ioniq 6, striking design, really focused on aerodynamics and offering strong value for money.
And the European players.
The VW ID.7 is aiming for that comfortable, long-range cruising feel, more conventional inside. And the Polestar 2 offers that cool Scandinavian design, plus the seamless Google infotainment system built in.
So the Model 3's approach, especially that screen, looks even more radical next to those.
It really highlights the difference, yeah.
Yeah.
The i4's controls versus the Model 3 screen. It's night and day. Tesla is fighting on its own ground. Value through efficiency, the charging network, and this extreme minimalism.
Okay, let's try and pull together the main downsides, the core flaws that keep coming up in reviews. We've hit the screen and build quality. What about other headaches? Service, technical glitches.
Yeah, those are definitely recurring themes. First, service and maintenance. It's often reported as a significant frustration.
Why is that?
Seems to be a combination of maybe not enough physical service centers and a heavy reliance on the mobile app for booking things. Owners talk about long waits for appointments and repairs.
Not ideal if something goes wrong. And what about technical issues? I remember reading about phantom braking.
Ah, yes, that specific autopilot nuisance. Sources definitely mention it. It's where the automatic emergency braking system sometimes triggers unexpectedly, hard braking when there's no obvious danger.
That sounds unnerving.
It can be, yeah. Disruptive and potentially risky.
Mm-hmm.
It underlines why you always need to be paying attention when using autopilot. And one more, related to design. Rear visibility isn't great because of that sleek, sloping roofline. You end up relying a lot on the cameras.
Okay, so those are some real tangible drawbacks, but we have to balance that. What are the undeniable positives that explain why Tesla is still such a dominant force?
Number one, no question. The supercharger network. It's vast, it's reliable, it's fast. Nobody else has managed to replicate that globally, not yet anyway. It's a massive advantage.
Okay, what else?
The driving experience itself. That instant torque, the responsiveness, is just fun to drive. That's a core appeal. Third, the software, those over-the-air OTA updates.
Right, the car gets better over time.
Exactly. Performance tweaks, new features, bug fixes, all delivered while it's parked in your driveway. And fourth, generally, the running costs, the routine maintenance tend to be lower. Fewer moving parts than a petrol or diesel car.
So bringing it all together, what's the takeaway for you, the listener, maybe thinking about a 2026 Model 3?
Look, the Model 3 for 2026 is still undoubtedly a benchmark for electric cars, especially dynamically and efficiently. That long-range model, in particular, it offers a fantastic combination of mileage and performance for the money. It really keeps pushing the whole industry forward.
There's always bought with Tesla, it seems.
But yeah, buying one means you have to consciously accept those specific trade-offs we've talked about. You might have to overlook some fit and finish things compared to rivals. You might face frustrations with service. And fundamentally, you have to be okay with that screen-centric way of interacting with the car.
It's embracing Tesla's very particular vision of what a car should be.
It is. And it really forces you, the potential buyer, to ask yourself a pretty fundamental question. Thinking about that constant need to glance at the center screen for basic info like your speed. Does the incredible convenience of the supercharger network, the fun of the drive, the coolness of the OTA updates, does all that truly outweigh the potential safety implications of taking your eyes off the road, even for a moment, for such basic functions?
That's the heart of it, isn't it? The core paradox of this silent revolution, and probably a perfect place to leave it for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the 2026 Model 3. If you found this breakdown helpful, please do hit like, subscribe, maybe click the bell.
And check the description for the full review link and our Cars Press WhatsApp channel.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.